Hey y'all, welcome and welcome back. My name is Jessica Lockett. I am the owner and master loctician over at thelockshop.com, as well as the founder and educator over at Bijou Tiny Locks, and your favorite lock girl on this side of the internet. As you read in the title, today I'm going to be talking about preparing for a Microloc install. I'm sitting here preparing for a Bijou Tiny Lock install tomorrow. I realized that I've never given y'all a video on what to look forward to, how to prepare for an install, how to prepare as a loctician, or any of that. Like, that's a whole 2 to 3 day process that you want to make sure that you're fully prepared for. So let's ride. First of all, as the loctician, I'm going to talk about that first just because that's the side of the chair that I'm on. Make sure that you have everything prepared the night before. If you need to start 2 days before, start 2 days before. I'm a night owl personally, so it's much easier for me to 2 nights before the install start getting a routine of going to sleep at a reasonable time, because I'll be up, girl, till 3 o'clock in the morning. So that's not good. So make sure about 2 days before you start getting a good nighttime routine and making sure that you're getting enough rest, because for the next few days, you're just going to be up, standing on your feet, moving around, working. If you're a coffee girl like myself, or a tea girl like myself, make sure that you have those things ready and prepared, or that you have them at your disposal. Make sure that all devices are fully charged and that you have the chargers to go with them. Make sure that you have, this goes for both loctician and clients, you want to make sure that you have one of those multi-port plugs, so that if you need one plug but you need to plug all of your devices into it, that you're able to do so. So make sure you have your phone charger, your laptop charger, your iPad charger, all the things, okay? As well as a good podcast. As a loctician, a good podcast, something that you can listen to as you work. If you have a series, if you have a television set up, make sure that you have a good series that you want to watch with your client, whatever it may be. Make sure that you have what you need to work for the next 2 to 3 days, okay? Make sure that you are eating well. I know I mentioned making sure that you eat breakfast before the install, but also make sure that you have a lunch prepared for yourself the night before or the morning of. Make sure that you bring a lunch, or make sure that you have someone to bring you lunch. You want to make sure that you're eating, because if you were working any other job, standing up, working a 10 to 12 hour shift, you would have a lunch break. Schedule yourself a lunch break. And I'm really talking to myself, because I try and play Superwoman. Girl, I'm hungry. But I'm like, I work so much and I try to get finished so that I'm able to get back home and I'm able to get my client out of the chair at a reasonable time. But you have to understand that as long as you prepare them at the consultation and that they've done their research, we know how long we're going to be. I work until I'm also a third to a half of the way through. We take an hour-long break to where we're able to stretch, restroom breaks, lunch, hydrate, all of that good stuff. We take an hour-long break, and then we take small breaks here and there. Of course, if you need to go to the restroom, go to the restroom. But taking long breaks is just not my thing, because I like to get in and get out, baby. But make sure that you set aside time to eat. If you need a 10-minute snack break, take a 10-minute snack and water break. It'll be okay. All right. Making sure that you have your policy set up and that the consultation was done well enough to where your client is completely prepared for everything. Making sure that they know how to pay you, making sure that they know, of course, what forms of payment you accept, what their remaining balance is, their maintenance costs, things of that nature. Making sure that you have that set up. How I like to do it is at that hour break, once I'm a third to a halfway through, we take our hour break. Once we come back from the break, the remaining balance is paid, and then we proceed with the rest of the install. Okay. Shoes and clothing. How to dress. Making sure that you are dressed in comfortable clothing is kind of one of the top things. Just because you're standing, you need to be well supported. If you have a chair or a stool, that is great. Use it, use it, use it. For the longest, I was not using anything to sit down. So I would be on my feet for 18 hours straight. So make sure that you have something to support a long shift, okay? You're standing on your feet and working just like any other job, so make sure that you have something that is comfortable, that supports your knees and ankles, clothing that is loose enough to where you don't feel restricted, as well as something just that you're comfortable moving in and being in for a long period of time. Okay. Phone calls. Make sure that you're able to contact your other clients using earbuds or anything like that, because stopping to be on the phone is only going to extend the amount of time that you're actually there. So make sure that that client is getting the 2 to 3 days of your time that they paid for. Make sure that other clients, whether you need to set some sort of automated message, whether you need to answer phone calls only and not text, however you need to do it, make sure that you're able to handle your business for the next 2 to 3 days without taking time away from the client that's paying for your time. Okay. Preparing your clients for any stops that you know you'll need to make within that stretch of time is also a great thing to do ahead of time. I have a toddler. I have a 3-year-old son, so I have to stop in between. And sometimes we start early, so I prep them, get them either deep conditioned or dried or under the dryer. I go take him to school. I come back, we proceed. And then during that hour break, or sometimes it's a little bit before the hour break, I have to stop, go get my son, and then we come back, and then we continue to work up until our stopping point. Also discussing what a good stopping point for your client is. I will work until the wee hours of the night. I don't really care. But if you have a client who isn't comfortable being away from home that long, who would prefer like a good 12 hours and then we stop and we proceed the next day, make sure that you're discussing with them how you are and how you work best, but also making sure that they're comfortable with that schedule as well. All right, moving on. So as the client, how would you prepare for a Microloc install? First of all, it starts with research. I know everybody say that. I know it's cliche. Don't shoot the messenger, girl. I'm just telling you. Research. You have to go on all the Facebook forums, go on all the blogs, go on all the vlogs, go on all the YouTube channels, go on, talk to the girls in Walmart. And I know my clients get sick of people talking to them in Walmart, but if you in Target and Walmart, my clients talk to people all the time. Hey, I met your client in such and such a place and she told me to call you. Hey, I met your client in such and such a place. Word of mouth is that girl. But make sure that you do research to where you know what you're talking about when it comes to these consultations. And next thing is the consultation. Scheduling consultations can be quite tedious sometimes for clients, but it's always a great thing to know that it's not a binding contract. Like going to a consultation and paying $40-$50 for a consultation, that's not a binding contract. I would much rather pay that $40-$50 than to just jump into something and I'm spending $1,500 on an install that I don't like because I did not vet the loctician. I would hate that for you. So make sure that you are doing consultations, asking plenty of questions. If you need to make a note on your phone with questions that you want to ask beforehand, because some people are a little bit shy, or if you want to send that to your potential loctician prior to the consultation so that they're able to answer your questions without you feeling too much pressure. Whatever it is that you need to do, make sure you do it. Remember, this is an investment, not only an investment of finances, but an investment in time. You're about to spend 2 to 3 days with this person, and then over the next however long you want to spend with them, every 4 to 6 weeks, you're in their chair spending a couple hours with them. So you want to make sure that it's somebody that you can vibe with, that it's an environment that you can see yourself sitting in for a long period of time, that it's somebody who's able to answer your questions and make you feel comfortable and safe. All of those things are very important. So if you need to go to 2 to 3 consultations, do that. But make sure that you know that to do a consultation is not a binding contract, and you can do as many as you need to feel comfortable and find your girl. Next, make sure that you know your hair routine. Make sure that you know that you're realistic about how your hair is in its natural loose state so that you have accurate expectations when it comes to your locks. Because if you have hair that is thin as pins, it's not going to be super duper thick after you get locks. It's going to thicken up, most likely. It's going to take some sort of form that you may love, but make sure that you check DNA. I can't fight DNA, baby. I ain't Jesus. So make sure that you are realistic. Like if you have parents or close family members who have thinning and receding hairlines, make sure that you address that and check that before going in for an install, so that you aren't putting so much pressure on a loctician who knows nothing about your bloodline, but you know everything. You get what I mean? So make sure that you take that into account. Take into account any scalp conditions or scalp issues that may need to be addressed by a dermatologist. As a cosmetologist, as a licensed natural hair specialist, or whomever you may be allowing to install your locks, we are not doctors. So we cannot give you, technically, we cannot give you any sort of diagnoses, any sort of medication to treat anything. So make sure that you address that with your doctor, with your dermatologist prior to getting an install with locks, because it is a permanent style. Now, not permanent in the sense of you can never take it down, but permanent in the sense of we're going into this to keep it for a very long time, if not forever. So at these consultations, that is when you will get your final pricing. That is when your loctician will give you, your potential loctician will give you the price breakdown and everything about how you will be paid, how you be paying for your install. So how I do it is I measure the hair and I go by length and density of the natural loose hair. I do a few test locks in the hair. I do a few different methods in the hair, a few different rotations, just to see what'll work best, see what looks best, see what holds the best on that client. And we go by that. Sizing, density, and length are the three biggest factors that go into pricing for a Microloc install. So I go in, I do the test locks, I analyze the density, the length, and the size that the client wants, the desired size that they want. And I'll suggest a size if their sizing preference isn't as realistic. I'll suggest something else if need be. And then we will go in and do a price breakdown. I give them the price. It's 50% deposit to block those 2 days off. That is paid via invoice so that we both have receipt of the payment. It is non-refundable because I have to block those 2 days off. So make sure that you are serious about the install. Don't go taking up these people's time, knowing you're not for real, then come back trying to get your money back. The money is gone. I had to block off 2 days of my schedule where I could have made double what you just gave me. Therefore, that money is gone. You get what I'm saying? Especially day of, day before, like something like that is insane. So make sure that you're serious before paying. But a lot of times you will pay a deposit. I do require personally 50% upfront to block the days, and then the remaining 50% is due again at the halfway point of the install. Make sure that you know what you're looking forward to when it comes to install pricing. Installs can range you anywhere from $700 to $3,000 plus, like, and you will find like trainees or people who are just starting out who may charge a little bit less. However, make sure that you're prepared to pay. You got to pay. All right, now it's install day. We booked our consult. We booked our install. It is install day, girl. You get up bright and early. You're excited. Your stomach is not. You're ready to sit down. You charged all of your devices the night before. You prepped yourself some lunch and snacks. You have water, tea, juice, coffee, Monster, whatever you need to make it through the day. You have that. A little wine once it gets to the end of the day. I don't know. Ask for Loctician. I don't know. I'm cool with that. But make sure that you have everything prepped and ready to go the night before so that when you wake up in the morning, those nerves and that anxious feeling aren't doubled because you were ill prepared. Okay. Clients also need, I'm hot-natured, so I like the air on. So a lot of my clients need blankets, heated blankets, girl, pillows, you know, little butt cushions, neck pillows, things like that to make them comfortable. And that is perfectly okay, perfectly fine. Just make sure that you have everything because a lot of the times for sanitary purposes, a lot of Locticians do not provide those things. Yeah, so make sure you have your blankets and your pillows and such. I forgot to mention Locticians. Make sure that you are using compression socks. Wear compression socks for your installs. I wear them for install, for retie days, for shampoo. Girl, I'm gonna wear my socks. So wear your compression socks, both as the client and the Loctician. That's very important. All right, girl. So you've gotten your install. Your hair is beautiful. You love it. You're looking a little scalpiana, but that's okay because you know that it's gonna get better. Okay? You know that you have to trust the process. Now we got it. Now we got it. So make sure that before you leave, you ask for aftercare instructions. Personally, I provide a small bag that has a few different items for my clients to get through the next 4 weeks. Rose water or any sort of moisturizing spray that your Loctician recommends. I provide a bonnet. I also provide a sample of the shampoo that I recommend, as well as a trifold pamphlet with all of my information, all of the information that I recommend as far as braiding and banding, how to sleep, how to style, how to care for your hair in between retightenings. So make sure that you have those things ready to go. And if y'all need an aftercare video, please let me know down below and I'll be sure to make you one so that you feel prepared when you go into your install day. Okay. Make sure that you schedule your retightening. I done told y'all once, I ain't gonna tell you again. Make sure you schedule that retie. Because you're gonna find yourself messed up and you'll be trying to do it yourself and you're gonna be looking crazy. Pay that lady, like I told y'all a long time ago. Pay that lady and make sure you schedule your retightening and make sure that you are on top of your maintenance. Make sure you ask the cost, of course, of maintenance and that you're prepared to pay for your maintenance each and every time. Make sure that you're scheduling time frames that you can keep up with, okay? We never want y'all to fall behind. I always recommend that first 1 to 3 retightenings. I recommend 4 weeks, and then I push my clients out up until that 6-week mark. Once the slippage stops and we're in a safe space to push out to 6 weeks, we push it out slowly, but we push it out. last but not least, girl, enjoy the hair freedom, enjoy the new journey, enjoy the self-discovery, because it's a lot of self-discovery and a lot of self-love that comes from locking your hair and truly being comfortable in who you are without the wigs, without the braids, without all of that good stuff. It's a long journey of self-discovery, self-love. So like, just self. Locks just to me represents a journey of self, and I really want you to enjoy it. No matter what route you take, twists, braids, extensions, whatever route you take, I really want it to be something that you love and that you are confident in, something that you wake up in the morning and you just know you that girl. Cause me, okay, who, okay, who better than me, baby? I like with my locks, you can't tell me nothing, and I don't want nobody to be able to tell you nothing either. So make sure that you're prepared for this beautiful journey that is Microlocs, that is locks. I love y'all. I will see y'all in the next video. Again, let me know if you have any video suggestions or anything that you would like answered down below, and I'll be sure to do that. Please go follow me over at The Lock Shop on Instagram, Bijou Tiny Locks on Instagram, as well as Jessica.Lockets on Instagram as well. And I will see y'all next time, girl. Till next time. Peace.
I'll tell you about me. I was nothing at all. Took a trip to London just to hear how they talk. Back to 4-0, you should hear how they talk. He might be Mr. Track and Field, but I done ran through them all. Yeah, that nigga.